miss you. You're a model citizen. Thank you.
I've heard of you. I'm glad you're here to help. We've got a lot to do. Are you... Good. The president doesn't arrive until tomorrow. Glad you could join us. Most of my men are already on duty. We've got a busy... The plan... Someone like you. Once you're...
The fiends are running for their lives. That'll show everyone what we do to our enemies.
Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with.
Hey, you haven't seen my friend around here, have you? We were supposed to...
With Mr. House dead and gone, Vegas can finally join the NCR.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I heard about you. Thanks. I don't know about... You know what? Thanks. We haven't been paired together. I don't know. You know what? I think it's...
I don't have time to talk right now.
Not right now, I'm busy.
Have you finished your security sweep? Looks like that. Now if you... You're cleared to go on through.
Do you mind?
Time to fight.
Do you mind?
Come back in a minute. I'm busy with security matters. Come back in a minute. I'm busy with security matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming out here today for this very special occasion. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the President of the new California Republic, Aaron Kimball.
Thank you, fellow Californians, who have come so far to answer the call to service put forth by the Republic. It is for you that I have come here, and it is because of you that I am able to do so. We enjoy our privileges because you take the greatest of risks and are prepared to make the most noble sacrifices. When, like Private First Class, Jeremy wants that Nevada and the new California Republic remain free and secure. Born in a tin shack on the outskirts of One Pine, Jeremy Watson never had it easy. His father was a caravan guard on the short loop, and his mother, like many Californians, braved the ruins of the old world as a prospector.
Do you mind?
They suffered through water shortages, raider attacks, and the Brotherhood of War. Like our mighty Sierra Nevadas, they endured. But the time came when they could no longer shoulder the burden alone. 12 years ago, they
Will you be keeping an eye out?
And the Republic heard them. Troopers, rangers, just like you, answered the clarion call.
What the hell? Nice work catching this. I'll have my rangers...
Men and women step forward to say, I will carry the weight.
Not
We
now.
haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
Driving out the raider tribes to...
Not now. Good job today. You got the president out safe and sound. And I couldn't have done it without you. You have my thanks.
Still no luck finding my friend. Still no luck finding my friend. He better show up soon.
Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with.
Is the president safe? Good. His death could have had a major impact on morale. This whole affair was ill-advised from the start, and I, for one... While you were out, General Oliver arrived and briefed all senior officers regarding a change in our strategy. I'm not at liberty to divulge what was said, but I've been instructed to send you to him immediately. He set up his camp in the office area at the south end of this power plant. Dismissed.
Well, you took your sweet-ass time coming here. Let's get down to brass tacks. We need to get this thing moving if we want to keep the element of surprise. You've done some great work for us up to this point, and we're hoping to use your unique abilities to aid us once again. Thanks to the task my subordinates have delegated to you, the NCR now has a unique opportunity. We now have a chance to take the fight to those bastards on their home turf. I'm in the beginning stages of planning out an assault on the fort. I've made calls to our allies, and they're on their way to our position. Once our forces are in place in garrison here, we'll begin our assault.
Sir, I don't know what happened. A bunch of Legionnaires just stormed into the power station.
Into the power station? How is that possible?
I don't know, sir. There was some talk of them entering through the clog intake tunnels, but I don't have any confirmation. On my way up here, there was some chatter about their commander, the Legate, I think he's called, set up at some kind of base on the eastern bank.
Okay, listen here. Unless we can get some additional support, I'm gonna need you... You need to make your way to this camp they have on the eastern... Thanks for your...
Good gracious! The Legion is using the intake tunnels to storm their way into the dam. Someone has to stop them. I think that you should be able to divert the flow of the water into the generator turbines. That would grind... The computer to activate it is just ahead, but you may need to go outside to activate the manual override. Good luck.
Ready, steady, fight. done. Fighting now. That's all. I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
Don't you see everything is going to hell? I'm gonna go find someplace safe to hide out.
Let's get going.
Uh-oh. I don't want you to die. Was that all? Was that all? Sneaking done. Fighting now. Have a seat. Take this. It will help. Fighting over. Sneaking done. Fighting now. Injecting Stimpak. Ball. Injecting Stimpak. I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me. Fighting over. Time to fight. Time to fight. That's all. Technically, it's impossible to overdose on painkillers. Uh-oh. Half a stim pack. Guys dealt with. Fighting over. I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me. Time to fight. Huh? Time to fight. This will keep you on your... Bad guys dealt with. Speaking done. Fighting now. Cessation of hostilities complete. This one looks pretty tough. Cessation of hostilities complete.
Alpha Squad reporting in. Thanks for the support back there. We've been assigned to ensure you make it to the Legate. How can we be of assistance? You're in charge of this up. Unit, let's get going.
Uh-oh. Cessation of hostilities complete.
Keep your head down.
Ready.
You better get moving.
Steady.
There's bad
Fighting.
guys to kill. Over here!
Bad guys dealt with.
Cut it out, will you? Now is not the time. You better get moving, kid.
I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me. Time to fight.
Get some!
Does that feel better? Fighting over. This one looks pretty tough. Fighting over.
Alpha Squad reporting in. Let's get going.
This one looks pretty tough. That's all. Time to fight. That's all. This one looks pretty tough. Please take this. I don't want you to die. Please take this. I don't want you to die. Are we being watched? Bad guys dealt with. This one looks pretty tough. Is that all? Sneaking done. Fighting now. Ain't over. Sneaking done. Fighting now.
You like that?
Fighting over. Time to fight.
Many graves in the East are filled with those who said it is
Injecting. Fighting over. Uh-oh.
Had enough?
Does that feel better? Please take this. I don't want you to die. Please take this. I don't want you to die.
Had enough?
I hope it doesn't hurt too bad. We don't have any medics. We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too. Fighting over.
That's a fine bit of work back there. Truth told, I'm surprised you made it out of there in one piece. You and the dam. I'm impressed to say the least, and that's no easy thing. You've secured NCR's future. The administration sends its thanks for what it's worth. And we're glad to have you. And whether you're a soldier of the Republic or not, you're it in my eyes. Sometimes the Republic gets lost along the way while it's trying to follow its instincts. But when soldiers like you come along, it helps them get back on track and does it by example. And what you've done here today, that's gonna keep us going for a while. We clean up, take prisoners, watch the east for any more trouble from the Legion. Though I think they're still running, of course. After that, we'll see what happens when the dust settles and how the Mojave looks now without Caesar coming for its throat. Something tells me we better enjoy this breather while we can. And if that means Vegas, then you and the troops have earned it. Can't keep the courier spirit down, eh? Kind of curious how this is going to pan out in the long run.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. The new California Republic celebrated its second victory at Hoover Dam, establishing definitive control over the entire Mojave Wasteland. Soon after, they negotiated terms to annex the Strip, Freeside, and many surrounding communities. The Mojave Wasteland, at long last, had entirely fallen under the NCR's banner. The courier, fair and even-handed in his dealings throughout the wasteland, was honored by the NCR for his support of the military at Hoover Dam. He was presented with the Golden Branch, the highest civilian decoration given by the Republic.
Tabitha and Rhonda went east, through Caesar's land. Occasionally, tales of their exploits found their way back west, though few believed them. Eventually, the stories concerning the duo were collected and published, and proved to be quite popular with children.
Invigorated by his travels with the courier, Raoul once more took up his guns in memory of his lost Rafaela. Soon after, the Mojave was filled with tales of the ghost vaquero who hunts down those who prey on the weak.
With the help of the gunrunners, the Boomers developed a healthy trading relationship with the NCR. Eventually, the Boomers began wandering out into the wasteland while still preventing outsiders from entering Nellis.
The Brotherhood and the NCR in the Mojave Wasteland declared an official truce, despite continued hostilities between the two in the west. As per their agreement, the NCR handed over all suits of salvaged power armor, and in return, the Brotherhood helped patrol I-15 and Highway 95.
The peace with NCR served to ease Veronica's worries about the Brotherhood's immediate future. Still, a distance had arisen between her and her fellow members that would never be bridged. She began secluding herself in crumbling libraries of the old world, learning of promising technologies she knew the Brotherhood would never adopt.
Their leaders destroyed by the courier, the fiends scattered throughout the wasteland. Without the organization of Motor Runner, Cook, Violet, and Driver Nephi, they were easy prey.
After the NCR's victory at the dam, in part thanks to follower medical support, NCR allowed the followers to care for refugees as they see fit. Old Mormon Fort expanded its services and was able to aid more people, becoming a refuge for the less fortunate citizens of New Vegas.
Arcade had hoped that Freeside would be able to remain independent of NCR rule. But he was glad that Caesar's Legion had been stopped at Hoover Dam. He tended to the sick in Freeside for a while longer, then returned to NCR territory to become a teacher with the followers there.
Good Springs saw more trade along I-15 after NCR gained control of the Mojave Wasteland. But with that came a heavy burden of the Republic's taxes. Some old-timers, unable to handle the cost, were forced to move on, grumbling all the while.
The slaughter of the Van Graffs and the Crimson Caravan caused no end of trouble for NCR back west. Already struggling, NCR's supply line suffered further as the two caravans withdrew support until the massacre in the east was resolved. Cass survived to see the NCR flag flying proud over Hoover Dam and thought for a moment, this is what a hero must feel like. She was about to tell the courier not to get too proud of himself. Then she figured, he knew that already. That night, Cass kicked in the door of his room to celebrate, only to find the man on the bed was an NCR soldier whose barracks had been destroyed. He was cute, though, so after having her way with him, she got the hell out, leaving an empty whiskey bottle as a note. As she walked along the dam in the night, she felt drunk, content, and happy to be alive. Which to her was the whole point of it all.
During the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Great Khans quickly evacuated Red Rock Canyon and headed north and east into the plains of Wyoming. There, they reconnected with the followers of the Apocalypse and rebuilt their strength. Bolstered by ancient knowledge of governance, economics, and transportation, they carved a mighty empire out of the ruins of the Northwest.
Thanks to the courier and Lily, a cure for the Nightkin's schizophrenia was found shortly after Dr. Henry's experiment concluded. Nightkin and other super mutants in the wasteland flocked to Jacobstown, and the town became known as a haven where a mutant could find peace.
Encouraged by the courier to take her medication regularly, Lily's mind eventually attained a semblance of clarity. Her memories dulled by the pills, she cast aside the recording of her grandchildren, no longer remembering its significance.
After the NCR victory at Hoover Dam, the temporary truce between them and the Kings blossomed into a full-scale relief effort for the people. While the NCR made repeated entreaties that Freeside join the Republic, the Kings steadfastly maintained their independence.
Revitalized by Violetta's brain, Rex eventually learned to balance the memories of his old life with Violetta's experiences among the brutal fiends. His mind had difficulty adjusting, but Rex eventually found peace with his new, more vicious self.
Shaped up by the courier's advice, the Misfits distinguished themselves during the Legion's attack on Camp Golf. Mags was finally promoted to sergeant, and the rest of the Misfits received an official commendation. They continued to serve with distinction for many years.
Though Novak was a low-priority target for the Legion, many of Novak's citizens died in its defense. In the weeks that followed, several bright followers returned to Novak to help restore its defenses, allowing it to remain independent of NCR.
Looking for a place where he could be of some use, Boone found himself re-enlisting with his old unit. Though his regrets remained in his thoughts, they coalesced into a purpose, and Boone embraced it.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
After the majority of the Vault 19 powder gangers joined the Great Khans, the weaker members scattered throughout the Mojave Wasteland. Though a few managed to erase their past, most never survived the journey.
Prim Slim proves to be an able-minded, if not able-bodied, sheriff for Prim. And due to his slow speed, some crooks get away without a scratch. But Prim continues to prosper under his watchful, robotic eye.
Defying Chief Hanlon's worst fears, NCR's Rangers persevered and distinguished themselves during the Second Battle of Hoover Dam. The Rangers, along with NCR's many troopers, shared the glory of victory. Hanlon wisely stayed out of the spotlight, crediting General Oliver's leadership for NCR's success. After a brief fanfare, Hanlon stepped down as chief and returned to the peace and quiet of his ranch outside of Redding.
After their bold arrival at Hoover Dam, the remnants disappeared as quickly as they came. Legends of their power spread throughout the Southwest, a reminder of why people once feared the sight of vertibirds in the sky.
And so the courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.